Hey there, boys and ghouls. Welcome to this week's episode of Halloween Weekly. Nick and George here with...
Taking the temperature of horror. We got to figure out, before all the rest of the year's horror drops, what this year has been so far. Plus, we're going to do a quick catch-up on Creepshow since we've had a couple episodes on it.
But to make it Halloween-themed, we are comparing what's come out this year.
Well, instead of what we're going to do, instead of like 5 stars or 2 thumbs up or whatever, what we're going to do is we're going to rank them as Halloween candies.
Yeah. So
right?
this
So
gets
if the movie
personal.
was a kind of Halloween candy, what would it be? This gets personal, very personal for you. I'm at a severe disadvantage because I gave all my Halloween candy to my brother when I was a kid. I never ate Halloween candy. So, like, I have almost no working knowledge of candy at all. So this is going to be hilarious.
This is going to be...
I don't even know what's good or bad, I mean, to tell you the truth.
I will guide you.
Yes, I know.
I will guide you. But first...
Yes.
Let's talk Creepshow.
All right, so I don't even know what the hell date it is. We're like mid-October. We've seen, what,
It
3
is the
Creepshow
16th.
episodes?
16th, yeah.
Okay.
4th one coming out tomorrow.
4th one coming up tomorrow. You've seen them all. I've seen every segment except for The Finger. What did you think of the ones we haven't covered so far?
I mean, the Finger one was the most Creepshow... No. The one before that, the Trick or Treat one, the Halloween one. That had the most Creepshow...
Wait. Okay, hold on. So the episode that just dropped was the Halloween one. And the suitcase one.
Oh, shit.
The one before
Dude,
that...
I forgot what order they were in.
The one before that was something we already covered, and then The Finger was the back half of that episode.
Yeah. Okay, so we have The Finger, the Halloween episode, and suitcase.
Yes.
Okay. The Halloween one was the most Creepshowy in terms of story.
Okay.
And in terms of someone wronged someone, they came back to give them what they deserve.
Okay.
The suitcase one was probably the coolest concept.
Yeah, that reminded me of the House of the Head.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, swinging for the fences.
Yeah, and I like the acting in that one better than the Halloween one. The Halloween one, the acting was kind of like they were kids.
Yeah.
So, like, and, they had, like, a low budget, so.
Right.
But it felt the most Creepshow. And then The Finger was... it had the most, like, crazy Creepshow shots, and the monster was pretty cool in that one.
Okay, yeah, everyone's raving about Bob.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so in terms of your enjoyment of the show overall, did this move the needle up at all, or is it still, like, the same 5 out of 10 kind of placement you had it at?
I still about 5 out of 10.
You're okay, so it didn't move you. It didn't move you at all.
Yeah, I still enjoy watching them.
Yeah. I mean, we're watching them all. So
Yeah, but it still didn't.
Still didn't move the needle.
Yeah,
up
the
that
creeper.
much.
It's the creeper, man. Like some just like if I wish all the stories were more aligned with like the Halloween one. If people getting like the shit coming back to them, because that's what I kind of enjoy the most with the Creepshow stuff. I don't know. We still got a few more episodes left.
So here's the weird thing. The episode with the suitcase and the Halloween one, I really disliked it when I first watched it. Matter of fact, I for the first time with Creepshow, I thought I wasn't even going to make it through the Halloween one. I was like just going to skip forward because it was obviously the kick the can Twilight Zone of Creepshow. Like, it was obviously the one that was going to be the corniest, the most, like, sentimental, and the least scary, right? Because it was so obvious what was happening from the beginning, right? Like, there was no other way. When they were like, we're Golden Dragons, we got to do this every year. Like, you're in a revenge-based horror anthology. I kind of know what's happening there. So, the execution of the kids going around trick-or-treating was the best part of that episode, I thought. The relationship between the kids was terrible. And, the ending was kind of like it gave you that cool, spooky monkey's paw, like, chill for a heartbeat, but it just felt super weak to me. And then the suitcase one I really liked until the genie appeared, and then I just lost my mind laughing because I was like, I thought Disney had, bad blue genies on lock. Like, I thought no one was going to beat them. Like, I thought that was the one thing I would have, at like a prop bet, I would have bet $1 million no one was going to beat Disney this year to that. But Creepshow pulled it off. So I was like, okay.
To be fair, the genie in Aladdin.
But check this out. And this is going to enrage and infuriate some of our more hardcore horror viewer people, but it's not that it grew on me so much. I rewatched it with Jenny.
Which one grew on you?
I'll tell you. So I rewatched the episode with Jenny, and she really liked it. It was her favorite of all the Creepshow episodes so far. And I think it was because it was the tamest. Not that she's a tame horror. She can watch some pretty severe horror, but I don't think she was in the mood for like severe horror.
Yeah.
It was like easily digestible. It's funny we're doing a candy-based episode because that's what it felt like. It just felt like cotton candy. It felt like you could just eat it. It was weightless. You know, like whatever. So she enjoyed it. But the weird part was rewatching it. It grew on me a little, not because it was working with her, but because I feel like that the model of shows like Creepshow, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, the model itself is something that rewards rewatching because they're so timeless. The structure is so timeless. Like somewhere on planet Earth 4,000 years ago, people sat around and told a story about like screwing something over and they get revenge on you, and that's not how you should live your life. Like, I mean, it's the same. Like, it's the same story we've been telling ourselves as a species forever, right? So, like, because it's based on such timeless stuff. I had a sort of similar vibe going to see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark in the theater, just because it just feels timeless. And I think that's part of why I really admire Castle Rock, Channel Zero, and those things, Black Mirror, because they're taking that timeless bedrock, they're breaking it up, and they're resorting it. So I picture it like those cool paths that people put in their houses. You could just put a straight concrete path up to your door, but some people take those broken rocks and they kind of lay it out, and it's kind of cool mosaic, like, you know, broken. I feel like they're breaking that Tales from the Crypt model and they're resetting it. And Creepshow's not. It's just like, here's my door, come to my door, like, you know what. So that's the thing is, I just don't. Well, it grew on me a little, but I'm still not thrilled.
I don't, and I hate to be such a downer about it because, like, you know, it's Creepshow. Like, it's fucking Creepshow.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm a downer about it. There's a lot of things this year. I'm 6 out of 10 on it, and there's a lot of horror I saw this year.
So you got that 6, though.
It wasn't 6 out of 10.
I only got the 5. You got the 6 out of 10. So that might.
Well, you're more of a Creepshow purist than I am. Like, you grew up with it, right? I didn't watch Creepshow until I met you.
Right? Yeah. So. Well, I don't know. Like, there was, because I've been watching a ton of Shudder recently, like watching the live stuff, because, like, to me, like, it's just really fun because, like, I'm watching.
Yeah, Shudder Live TV is the shit.
And, like, we watched Mon Monsters, the Taiwanese, I think it's Taiwanese film. And, like, I loved our group of characters, like, probably within, like, a minute.
Right.
Like, I just love them. And I haven't had, like, a connection with that to any of the Creepshow characters yet. Totally. And I don't know why or what causes that, like, but I just thought it was interesting because they're both on Shudder. And
well, I mean, the movie's 2 hours long and the Creepshow sequence.
But I jumped in, like, middle of it, and
you instantly.
And I instantly did. That's what I'm saying, though, is, like,
yeah,
you know, with Creepshow, like, I'm catching these characters from the get. And, you know.
I agree with you. I think that, like, so. But here's the weird part. Like, that usually happens with me in anthologies. I didn't glom onto any characters in Metalhead, like in Black Mirror, because you didn't need to. But
they had that adrenaline going.
Exactly.
Time, yeah.
They replaced the thing that was missing with something of equal value. Creepshow is not. It's taking things out that you need, but it's not replacing them with things that are.
What I think is so interesting about Creepshow is, like, within each episode, there's something that's really well done that I enjoy.
Totally.
And that's why I think if they, and I hope they do.
The pumpkin
season.
intro was great.
For
that episode.
That was great, but there's things within it, and this is what I'm saying. Like, season 2 Creepshow, it's gonna happen. I hope it happens.
Yes.
You know, I'll do my part.
With raves and reviews like this, so it's bound to happen.
I know. That's why I'm like, listen to me, Shudder, please. Cut it in half. Like, do 3 episodes, 6 stories, and then just like, if you can, whatever budget went to the other things, pump it into the other ones. Give it a little.
Or not. Maybe this thing has got like 6 million viewers in China and everybody's fine. Like, you never know. I don't even know how to define the success anymore in terms of what gets them to re-up shows or movies. Like, I think movies are failing, and then, like, a horror movie will come out, and everyone I know that I trust that uses a barometer of quality, they all hate it, and then it instantly gets greenlit for a sequel.
Oh no,
I'm like,
not,
okay.
not like Ready or Not.
Right. Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. But that, you know what I mean? Like I can even call the good ones sometimes, right? Like sometimes it lines up. Like when Happy Death Day came out, I was like, oh, I hope there's a sequel to this, and then there was, and I was like, I wish there wasn't a sequel. But you know, it's weird that's kind of how it went. It's just weird. I don't know, but you're right. I don't mean to be a downer on it. I'm intrigued by the concept, and I feel like feeding us this kind of ongoing content in October is service enough. Like it would be bad if it was terrible. You know, but it's not. It's terrible.
Here's my
6
thing.
out of 10.
Here's what I'm saying. Shutter, listen. All right, cut in half. Also, why didn't they do the Joe Bob thing, where it streams at a certain time and everyone online comes to it?
That is so key to that success of that.
Like that, and that's why I'm pulling for like Creepshow to like get something
that happened with Twin Peaks: The Return. I went on Twitter. David Lynch was telling me not to go on Twitter. He was telling me to watch the damn show.
Yeah.
And I was going on Twitter, and he was on Twitter telling me to get the hell off Twitter and pay attention to the show. And I was like, I can't, because I got to see how people are reacting to this. Like that's like this electric feeling. Like you got to, you know, people are experiencing it together in real time as like a community.
I honestly think if they did that, it would go to a 6, just because I would see everyone talking about it, and it would just feel like an event.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Bob, you know, he's a 10 out of 10. So I don't know that's fair to compare. But I agree with you that I think that's the reason to shake up the model.
But that's the reason why I started watching the stream.
I would do what you're saying. I would try to get less content, and I would try to do higher quality of what I had. Right, if I was in their shoes, I would have cut the season in half, but put twice the effort into what was putting out.
I'm predicting something.
Enough of this. So we've caught up on Creepshow.
I'm predicting something. Okay. I'm gonna say this. Shadow, listen. Creepshow plus Joe Bob. If they did that,
I'm ready.
That's the event. That's the Marvel MCU equivalent.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
See, let's do that. Okay.
Speaking of ready, let's take a stock on horror of 2019. So,
all right.
No particular order, no like whatever.
No. This is just because Halloween's close.
Yes.
Trick or treat night's gonna be coming up here.
Well, and it's also because it's been such a weird horror year so far.
It's been wonky.
Almost everything that I saw a year back in the you know, what is it, in the windshield, see up ahead, I was wrong about. The things I thought were going to be really good weren't, and the things that I hadn't heard of but came from places that I trusted. Like if you had told me that I wasn't going to like Velvet Buzzsaw, I wouldn't have believed it, because that's usually the kind of thing I like, right? But it just felt like it was such an unpredictable horror year. But let's see what we got.
All right, listen. So we got. Let me just blitz through some candies here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell the audience what I'm working with here. What we got.
Oh no! Don't list candies. Let's just do it.
No. I'm just saying so they know what candies are up. So.
No, because you got 100 candies there, and I got candies you don't even have on your list. Just go. So let's do this. Let's do. What was your? Well, actually, let's cover a couple TV shows since we're on the Creepshow topic, and I don't have shows on my list.
One show that I loved.
Yes.
Love, Death, Robots.
Okay.
I thought that was so wonderful.
And if that was a Halloween candy, which Halloween candy would you be making it?
It would be.
And why?
For me, it would have to be a candy that's not a bar, but it would have to be sort of small and in little bites. So, because the show was like 2-minute episodes.
So an assorted bag of...
Yeah, you know what? I'll say Love, Death, Robots was the Skittles of this year.
Okay.
A lot of really small bite-sized things. And even if I don't want them, I'll have one. Like if I didn't like one of the stories, I still watched it. I still enjoyed it. That's how I feel about Skittles. I'm like, I'll have like a couple, like that's great. Then I'll eat a few more even though I shouldn't. And I'm like, totally. I don't regret that. I don't regret giving it that stock.
I mean, it's weird because that size content... I used to love when I would catch random shit I hadn't heard of on TV. Like, I think that happened with me with Eon Flux when it first aired, you know? And when it comes in bite-sized, like, it's just so good. Because if you're in, like, 2 minutes in, and you're like, oh, I don't like this one. You're just gone to the next one. You feel like you've missed nothing. It's amazing.
So that's how I put Love, Death, Robots is Skittles. Like, God, dude. That's just the thing. Is also all these candies are now going on sale, you know, or like at like Walgreens and stuff. So I'm just looking at it like, help me.
All right, check this out. So I was trying to grapple with what kind of candy
You even like?
Midsummer was.
Oh, I thought that.
Right.
I thought that.
And you're going to be mad at me because I think I'm picking one of your favorite candies, but the reason I picked it is not why. So I paired Midsummer.
Don't say it.
With butter.
You motherfucker.
And here's why. No, but here's why.
Okay.
Here's my first of all, they're the same color. The wrapping of Butterfinger and the marketing for Midsummer was basically the same color palette. But
I can see.
But besides that, it's because Butterfinger. It's not because of quality. I didn't particularly enjoy Midsummer, and I like Ari Aster a lot. But it was more because of it's soft on the outside and then super hard on the inside, and that's how I felt about Midsummer. I felt like Midsummer flashed these deceptive colors. Like this is going to be really bright. This is going to be really, folksy. It's not going to be that hard. You're not going to get like really any hard horror in it because you didn't really get hard horror in Hereditary. The hardest thing that happens in Hereditary is the thing we don't see with the telephone pole and the head,
and
right?
the ending,
and the guy and Gabriel Byrne catching on fire, but we've seen that a million times in horror movies, right? But Midsummer, when they started the suicide thing and the rocks and I was like, this movie has a spine of steel and it's pretending it's not. I have a feeling that there were people who weren't big horror fans. I have a feeling there were married couples who every weekend they go to their local theater and they just pick out something that looks interesting or whatever, and they fled halfway through Midsummer. But they bought it because they looked up at the poster and they saw sunflowers and it looked like Van Gogh made it, and they were like, this is going to be some tasty chocolate. And then they bit and they were like, chunk. So that it's because of the texture of the candy, not the
beautiful crunchy flavor. You know what? Okay, so I'll do my Midsummer here.
Okay,
I would actually go Three Musketeers.
Okay,
because every year when I went trick or treating, we had all the candy, we all sorted out, and then you eat all the good shit, right? And then you start to get down to it, and you pull out a Three Musketeers, and you're like, oh my god, yes, a nice, middle of the road chocolate bar, and then you bite into it, and you go, yep, still don't like it. Still don't like it. But every Halloween, I'll be damned if I don't pull out that Three Musketeer and I bite into it. I still don't even know what's in the middle.
So I have a feeling Midsummer's up for a rewatch with you someday.
I think it is someday.
On your Three Musketeers theory.
Yeah, so that's how I feel.
It'll come on Netflix and you'll be like, all right.
That's how I felt about like that, and It Follows. Like It Follows, if we did that would have gotten the Three Musketeers. Where it's like, I thought I was gonna like you more.
Okay, that's fair.
See that makes sense.
All right, take another one. Give me another movie.
Okay, so let's do this. I want to do. Ooh, okay. Let's take Child's Play.
Okay.
We were both big fans of that.
Totally. I already have a candy for that.
Okay, so my candy is Sour Patch Kids.
Naturally.
One, because it kind of fits.
Uh-huh.
Right? Even with those commercials, like the Sour Patch Kids are doing like really like fucked up things.
Mm-hmm.
But also Sour Patch. I think Child's Play was. I thought it was pretty layered. I liked the story. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the way it was shot.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how they updated
so you think
Chucky.
Fucking Sour Patch Kids are layered?
I think what Sour Patch Kids are layered?
Well, you said it's layered.
Because Sour Patch Kids, you take the layers. All those layers are different flavors.
There's layers? I didn't even know there was layers.
No. I'm saying the layers of Child's Play are equal to the flavors. So for each layer, you have a flavor.
Okay. I don't know what Sour Patch Kids are. So that's
okay.
That's why I'm asking.
Lead with that. Okay.
That's why I was asking.
Okay. They're like these little like sour things. They look like they're in the shape of like little kids.
And they're different flavors in the same bag.
Yeah, they're all sour, and then there's like the red ones, blue ones,
okay,
and a
fair
bunch
enough.
of different other flavors.
And I'm assuming because you really like Child's Play, I happen to know that that's a better candy. Like
that is I think when it comes to these sour candies,
okay.
I think Sour Patch Kid is the A+ of the sour group.
Okay, so that's one of the top candies. So here's what I want to do at the end of this episode when we're done with this. What I want to do is I want to be like, if I'm saying you're restricted to giving out 5 candies from your house, what 5 candies are you giving out? But you got to do the movies instead of the candies. So what okay. You got to pick 5 movies, right? So, and I'm going to do it at the end too, right? So that's a contender. I can tell already because Sour Patch Kids are pretty good. I paired Child's Play with Pez. And the reason I did that was because the only difference about this Child's Play from the old one, I thought, was they added that tech element. It was the only tech candy I could think of. It's the only candy
you need some
that comes
hardware.
with technology.
It's the candy with hardware, dude.
That's
true.
It was the only
That's a great point.
tech-focused candy
that
I
is-
could think of.
that is
I'm
a-
sure there's a million others, but I don't know.
No, I think that's perfect.
All right.
I think that's absolutely perfect.
All right, let me hit you with a movie. Hold on. So you gave me Child's Play. I'm going to give you... I did... So there's a pretty quiet movie. It's a horror Western called The Wind. It was one of my favorite horror movies of the year. It was probably The Witch of this year. Like it was not as good. I didn't like it as much as The Witch, but it had that similar feel that it sort of came out of nowhere. It was authentic for what it was. Like it really captured how people lived in a time that had passed, right? And it did a really good job of ramping up the thing. But I paired it with Jolly Rancher, and the reason I paired it with Jolly Rancher is because if hard candies are the ones that give you the wind the most. So
Hard candies
best
do
I
that?
could do. I don't know, that and chewing gum. Those are the only
Chewing gum gives you wind?
I don't know. Like I don't eat candy, so I don't know.
There's nothing gassy about that.
That's what I'm told.
All right, well, after this episode, we're going to take you to the doctor and get that figured out.
But Jolly Ranchers I know they're not a really esteemed candy that people like a lot so much.
I would say out of hard candies, Jolly Ranchers are pretty popular.
Okay.
A lot of people like them.
But that's what I think, because that's how I felt about the movie. I felt like the movie was about like a 8 out of 10. So
That makes sense.
Jolly Rancher seems like an 8 out of 10 candy.
The only thing I know Jolly Ranchers for is people would buy the cheapest vodka and put Jolly Ranchers in it, and then you'd have flavored, disgusting sugar vodka.
Coincidentally, that's the only way I know Jolly Rancher. Go figure.
It's the only way.
Go figure. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so listen to this. We saw Pet Sematary this year.
Yes, we did.
We didn't really like Pet Sematary. It had some good elements in it, but overall, like, it just felt kind of... Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I thought John Lithgow was pretty
He
good.
was fucking terrible. But go ahead.
I want you to say that to his face. I want you to say...
I love John Lithgow.
Dude, he's going to
I've seen
suplex you.
Cliffhanger like 5 more times than I should have because he's in it. So I'm fine with John Lithgow. But
Okay.
But anyway.
But it felt like just a chewed up story we've already
The only
seen.
thing I liked about it was the cat.
Church was good.
Yeah.
There you go. There's one.
Same. Right.
So, Pet Cemetery just kind of felt like a chewed up retelling of something we've already seen.
Agreed.
And I'm pairing that.
Oh, God.
I'm going to pair that
Yes.
with the caramel apple pops. Are you familiar with those?
I am.
Because those are the only suckers that look like they're pre-chewed. You know what I'm saying? Like they come just
That's
the way the
perfect.
caramel's clinging
perfect.
to that green wrapper.
That's absolutely perfect.
I think that is the most visual I'm gonna get with my candy to movie. Yes.
All right, I'm going to give you 3 quick hitters. You
Okay.
ready for this?
Okay.
Because these are really fast. They don't need a lot of explanation.
Okay.
So, The Dead Don't Die,
Mm-hmm.
the Bill Murray comedy,
Now and
zombie
Laters?
comedy joint. No, I did Bazooka Gum. And the reason I did was because Bazooka Gum, like Dead Don't Die, is the kind of candy where you open it up and then it's got a comic strip in it that's not funny. It's never funny.
Zing.
And it was terrible. It was a terrible product. So I thought, it's not good and it's not funny. So I thought I'm just going to do that. I gave it Chapter 2 wax cola bottles. So I don't even know if those are a thing anymore. But
They are, but I always
they're terrible.
I never understood the appeal.
But it's because it's so retro. That was the thing. It was weird. I don't know how this happened, but it Chapter 1 was more back in time than it Chapter 2, but it felt way fresher. And it Chapter 2 felt like the most dated side of Stephen King somehow. And I don't know why, but it's because I think of that candy as super dated.
Yeah.
Right? And really, and almost like nostalgic. Dated might be a little harsh because there were good things in it, right? So, but it's a very nostalgic thing. So that one was that. And then I gave Happy Death Day to you, Cupcake, for obvious reasons.
That's smart. But who the hell's handing out cupcakes on trick or treat?
I don't know. There's got to be a cupcake shaped
Dude,
candy.
I remember. The only thing I remember was one year for Halloween, I was a knight, and I had like this like armor on my forearm, and this guy was like, take one candy, and I grabbed one with my hand, I took the armor, and I scraped another candy there, and he was like, take one, and I was like, if you're gonna be here, just hand it out.
Yeah, don't make us reach for it and then give us instructions.
Yeah, that shit was whack. Okay, so let's see here. I got a list of movies and a list of candies here, and I'm going with what my gut says. And I think I would do. Ooh, this makes sense. I would do Ready or Not with Whoppers.
I don't know what that is.
It's like those malt duds.
Oh, it's like milk duds.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like they have like a crunchy outside, and then it's like a malt thing.
Okay.
They're pretty good. Because I always imagined those be like as like a. I just don't know if this makes sense.
Is this for Ready or Not?
This is for Ready or Not.
Okay.
For the height, the
I didn't have a candy for Ready or Not. I had Now and Later, but it was too obvious.
Well,
because Ready or Not, Now and Later was a sentence.
Oh.
So.
Okay, well that makes sense. But the reason I went with the Whopper, the Whoppers, is I look at it as a dusty ass candy. I don't even know what that means. But
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And that old Victorian house is the feel. I love the setting of it.
Totally.
I love the setting of Ready or Not. That's not a slight against it. Yeah. But it was just in my head. I went, no, that kind of makes sense. I think I can see Whoppers and Ready or Not. Plus, I can always
Ready or Not deserved a better candy. It's a pretty good movie.
I will say it deserved a better candy, but the visuals in my brain, it makes sense.
Okay.
It calculates. If I had to do Ready or Not for another candy, I would do Pixie Sticks.
Okay.
A lot of energy in that film.
That is perfect. That's actually perfect.
We'll go with that.
I really
one.
like that one.
Okay.
I'm giving 3 from Hell Tootsie Rolls because Tootsie Rolls always made me swear like a motherfucker when I got them for Halloween. And I didn't care because I was giving my brother anyway, but like it's a Rob Zombie film and all they do is say fuck. So that's all I did.
You swore when you got Tootsie Rolls?
Yeah, I hate Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, I thought it was like...
They would hand out Tootsie Rolls. I'd see a Tootsie Roll go on my little plastic pumpkin.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, under my breath, I'd be like,
God damn,
cheap motherfucker.
motherfuckers.
I said, it was the most I sounded like Rob Zombie when I was 8, when I got Tootsie Rolls and went on trick-or-treating. So I'm going to give him that, and I don't like him, and I didn't like the movie. And then I'm just going to real quick give the Perfection. Are Oreos, do they have mini Oreos? Do people give out mini Oreos?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think I remember like
because the Perfection has Allison Williams in it, and that's a Get Out shout out.
That's
anyway.
what.
Wait, no, what did she do? Fruit Loops? What did they give out?
She did Fruit Loops.
All right, Fruit
no
Loops
one's giving out Fruit Loops.
Okay.
No one's giving out Fruit Loops. I'm gonna take you trick or treating. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit me.
So I would do Haunt.
Yes.
Which I don't think we did an episode on. Did we do an episode on that?
We did not, but we really liked it.
I would do. I'm gonna pair Haunt and Little Monsters up,
Okay.
and I'm actually gonna give them Starbursts.
Good candy.
Good candy.
Great movies.
Good quality.
Yeah.
Great taste that'll last a lifetime.
Wow. That sounds like it should be on the poster for those.
And it should be on the poster on the box for Starburst.
You're right.
Because I'll never. I think I can go back to Starburst every year during Halloween, and I always enjoy it. And I feel like those two movies I will always enjoy.
I'd buy that. There's a movie called Piercing that came out that was really, really good. It's based on a Murakami story. He's a writer I really like. And I'm giving that rock candy because I feel like I always cut my mouth when I ate rock candy. And the movie's called Piercing. And it's like, I actually really liked rock candy. And then I'm just going to go ahead and reveal my top one. So I picked my favorite candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I'm giving to Tigers Are Not Afraid, which is probably the best horror movie of the year.
That's a good one. I would give my Reese's Peanut Butter Cup to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, fair.
Mainly just because it's probably my favorite candy. No, I like Butterfingers, but Reese's always. I feel
It's got to be something you could just eat over and over and over because you've already seen that movie like 3 times.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it again soon. So.
Yeah, and I think it's probably out of the whole year. I think it's probably my favorite movie. And then I had At the Drive-In with Joe Bob on here, and that was a hard one. Like, what do you give that show to? Because I can only really watch it when it's live. I can't watch, for some reason, I can't watch the replay. I'm like, it's not as fun. Like, I got to watch it when it's live. I think I would do when it's live, what candy makes me feel alive? Warheads.
Nice. That's a cool name. What is a warhead?
It's a Warhead is basically just a very, 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 very sour hard candy. Usually it's like really like fruity. Like there's rumor that the lemon flavor was sour, but I always thought the was it the raspberry flavor? I thought that was hard. But they're very sour. They make your lips pucker.
And that also gives you the wind. All right, so then, what are we gonna give Godzilla, King of the Monsters?
That's interesting. Oof.
Do you got any ideas for Godzilla, King of the Monsters?
Hershey's, a plain ass Hershey bar.
No almonds?
No. It's a plain ass Hershey bar. Because like I can look at the Hershey bar and appreciate what it's done in history.
Okay.
I can go, oh, I see what your purpose is. And our purpose is to get to another movie with the infinitely more awesome King Kong.
Totally agree. I rewatched Kong Skull Island the other day. And it's
so good.
10 times better.
I
keep forgetting how good that movie was compared to what else they were giving us out of that franchise. What's the worst Halloween candy? I mean, for me, it's Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Rolls aren't bad.
Are circus peanuts a real thing?
Dude, I don't know even where they come from, to be honest. I feel like they just materialize in like your grandparents' home.
I don't know what it is, but
I googled
worst candy.
It's like eating a sponge.
All right, well.
It's disgusting. Worst Halloween candy. Okay, here. I mean, I really don't like Hershey's. Oh, fucking the Almond Joys.
Almond Joy is pretty terrible. All right, what movie is the Almond Joy on this? What's the Almond Joy of 2019?
The Almond Joy would be that Amazon show, Carnival Row.
Would it? I haven't seen it.
Dude, yeah, you're not. I mean,
I'm not missing anything. Apparently,
it wasn't interesting. Now, I will say this: the gore in that show was on point. There was a lot of gore and like shit happening. Like that looked cool, but like it just wasn't interesting. I always look at the Almond Joy. In fact, I always try to be like, hey, I'll give you like 1,000 Almond Joy for one Reese cup, and they're like, nope, no deal. For that reason, I'm out. Shark Tank.
So my Almond Joy movie was The Curse of La Lorna or whatever that was called.
Oh yeah.
And on your theory, that would mean I could go to someone and be like, I'll give you 1,000 Curse of La Lornas if you just give me Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Terrible trade. That's a terrible. That is an awful trade.
Well, that's fair.
If I had to,
what else do we need to hit?
Sabrina.
Yes.
Sabrina is my Butterfinger.
Okay. That was your most enjoyable.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely nothing about the newest season like that they could have done better. Like everything was so well done.
And you're excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. Absolutely. They got to go get her boyfriend back, George, from the devil.
Obviously. If they had Butterfingers.
If they have Butterfingers, they'll just give the devil.
What the hell are we giving Crawl? Swedish fish? All right.
Dude, I thought that.
Done.
I thought that.
That's fine. That's fine.
Ooh, did we give out Snickers?
We did not.
Ooh, Snickers is a good, like...
Let's give that to Brightburn. Brightburn grew on me. It's weird. I would have called that movie a 4 out of 10 walking out of the theater.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a pretty healthy 6.5 or 7. 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it grew on me a lot. It's because it had one of the best death scenes of the year. I mean, it actually had a couple of the best
car one
death scenes of the year. For sure.
Yeah.
But it was the problem is that the story was really generic and really didn't do anything exciting with what it had, but the individual scenes really stuck with me.
Can I tell you something crazy? I was just thinking about Brightburn like last week about it, about like why I didn't like it randomly. So you know, I mean, it's not crazy that comes up during a horror podcast, but
well, you have a lot more. Not only do you have more experience with candy than I do, but you have more experience with that kind of movie. Like I'm sure The Boys was everything you wanted Brightburn to be.
Here's what Brightburn didn't have that The Boys had. I mean, I know there one's a comic book hero show, right. But nothing. Like there was good scenes, but the film didn't feel dangerous.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. I had the same problem with Crawl.
Same thing with Crawl.
Didn't feel dangerous. Rogue felt kind of dangerous.
Yeah, they didn't have that uppercut that just hits you out of, you know what I'm saying?
1,000% agree. What movie felt the most dangerous this year? I mean, for me, it's probably Tigers Not Afraid, and then I'm trying to find one we both saw. The most dangerous.
I don't want to go Joker, which I'm giving the Laffy Taffy.
The most depressing Laffy Taffy you can find.
Well, Laffy Taffies are depressing.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't even know what it is, but apparently it's depressing.
Dangerous, I would say.
I don't think anything you got on this list felt dangerous. Maybe that's what was missing from this year.
I think the most dangerous film, but it doesn't make sense for this because Once Upon a Time is probably the closest thing that I can get to.
Yeah, that was dangerous because of how it was. I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced a movie that traded so heavily on your expectation and knowledge of what already happened.
Yeah.
Right. I've never felt anything like that. I even watching something like JFK, Oliver Stone, or something like that, or even like the 2263, the Stephen King thing, or whatever, knowing what's going to happen and that they're trying to change it. I didn't feel that creeping dread that I did with Once Upon a Time as they were heading towards, Sharon Tate's house. So I feel like it doesn't feel dangerous, but it feels more dangerous than the things on here.
Yeah,
we haven't mentioned Us at all, and you haven't even seen it.
I still haven't seen it.
I've seen it, and I'm sure, obviously, that that it's going to be more dangerous than most because Jordan Peele is probably smarter than most of the people churning out horror, but it didn't feel dangerous to me either because I got so in the weeds with the plot and all that stuff. So I don't know. Here's the thing. It's weird. I'm gonna give the honorary danger category, ironically, considering how this episode started, just to Shudder in general. Because Shudder brought us Tigers Are Not Afraid. I know they didn't make it, but they brought it to us. They might have brought us Hagasusa. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it might have been. And
I saw that on Amazon before.
And then Beelzebub, which was really good, is a movie that they brought us. I feel like they're bringing more dangerous original horror consistently, or at least they have. They brought me more dangerous feeling horror this year than Blumhouse did, right? Or any other category I can throw.
Well, even like I was telling you before we started recording, because I started throwing Shudder Live on, I was half watching Boar, and from the scenes that I watched, I enjoyed those scenes more than I did with anything, or not with anything in Brightburn, but with the majority of Brightburn.
Right.
So yeah, they're bringing some really kick-ass stuff. Plus the Joe Bob Hootenanny on the 25th.
Totally.
I'm still there. And I knew they were going to do a Joe Bob. There's no way they were going to pass up Halloween and not have Joe Bob. That'd be nuts. And
they scared the Jesus out of us last year with Terrified.
Terrified.
So they're on a really good roll with that kind of thing. So all right,
they are.
Well, that's good, right? We kind of took stock. It still feels like a weird year to me, but I'm excited to see what we do with our end of the year episode. It's going to be interesting to see because we always have our unique.
Halloween Weekly Awards. No one's grabbed their
categories,
coupon awards yet. So
but it's gonna.
Better.
I'm hoping that some stuff comes smoking, out of the gate towards the end of this year to make this year feel more like. I don't want to feel like a string was played out because I really felt like horror ticked up in 2015. I was pretty disappointed with 2014. 2015 it started to grow. 2016 through 18 felt like the second best era of horror I've lived through as an adult. Yeah. And this doesn't feel like it's the same, but we'll see.
No, I think with movies like Joker and Once Upon a Time, you then have I think
the horror adjacent category.
Yeah, I think those are doing better.
Because it's not like last year we were or whatever year, 2017. It's not like we were the best horror movie that year was Mother, because that would be the equivalent of this. You'd have to find something that isn't quite horror, to put it up against. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Anyway, now I'm just
we'll see what Castle Rock's season 2.
Castle Rock's gonna be gold. Yeah. I can tell you right now.
I'm catching up.
Castle Rock might save the whole thing.
So we'll report back on that.
I got to go explore some candies.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Until next time, stay scary. Watch a bunch of horror movies. Bye.